Hello, my name is April Skipper. I'm a master's student in the Plant Pathology and Pest Management program and also a research professional in peanut entomology at the University of Georgia on the Tifton campus. I'm presenting research that I did in the fall of 2020 on a serious peanut pest in Georgia, which is Diabrotica undecimpunctata, or Southern Corn Rootworm. The larval stage of this native pest feeds on the pods of peanut. This leads to a lower quality product, which will mean a lower payout to the grower at harvest. Recently, an increase in another Diabrotica species, balteata, or the banded cucumber beetle, populations have been reported, as well as an increase in rootworm injury. So my objectives for this research was to determine the relative abundance of the two adult rootworm species in commercial peanut fields in Georgia, as well as evaluate the effect of sampling methods on relative abundance of species collected. To get started, I chose peanut fields for the study that were both irrigated and contained heavy soil texture. Both of these are high risk factors for rootworm presence. I ended up with a total of 11 peanut fields that spanned 4 southwestern Georgia counties. I collected samples bi-weekly starting August 6th and ending September 30th. One of the sampling methods I used was yellow sticky traps. 4 were placed in each field. 2 were baited with a plant volatile lure with substances meant to attract Southern Corn Rootworm, and 2 were baited with a plant volatile lure with substances meant to attract banded cucumber beetle. The 4 traps were placed approximately 30 meters apart in a square pattern, and traps with the same lure were diagonal from each other. Traps were replaced every 2 weeks, and lures were replaced every 4 weeks. The second sampling method I used was sweep net. Every 2 weeks, I went to 6 random sites within the general area of the sticky traps and did 15 sweeps at each site. All samples were taken back to the lab, where I counted the number of each Diabrotica species in each sample. This enabled me to statistically compare the results with a chi-square analysis. First, I'll show you with figure 6 how the number of banded cucumber beetles drastically outnumbered the number of Southern Corn Rootworm for each sample period. This is true for sticky traps as well as sweep net samples. Over 1,800 target species were counted, and of them approximately 90% were banded cucumber beetles, while only about 10% were Southern Corn Rootworm. For the second objective of this study, I took a closer look at the relative proportion of rootworm species by sampling method. I found that sweep net samples and sticky traps with the banded cucumber beetle lure caught approximately the same relative proportion of species, but the sticky trap baited with the Southern Corn Rootworm caught more Southern Corn Rootworms proportionally than the other 2 methods. After the data was subjected to a chi-square analysis, I was able to determine there was no significant difference in using the sweep net method or the banded cucumber beetle lure baited trap, but there was a significant difference for the Southern Corn Rootworm lure baited traps. From these results, I am able to conclude that the banded cucumber beetle was more abundant than the Southern Corn Rootworm across all sample dates and locations in 2020. The banded cucumber beetle was approximately 9 times more abundant than Southern Corn Rootworm overall. More research will have to be done on how to best implement this data for integrated pest management practices for peanut. Next, I'm able to draw the conclusion that yellow sticky traps baited with the banded cucumber beetle lure are an efficient substitute to sweep net sampling when collecting relative species abundance data for these 2 Diabrotica species. Since the sticky trap baited with a banded cucumber beetle lure is more efficient and just as accurate, I will be able to expand my 2021 research to include over 30 peanut fields. As an added focus, I will be evaluating the effect of proximity to ZMAs on species abundance. Thank you so much for your interest in this research. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions you might have.